Hi 47. Sorry I couldn't be in school, okay, because I'm still not feeling well, okay, and my arm still hurts uh, from the infection. Okay, so we shall not waste any time because exam is coming. That's why I've decided to use screencast, okay, to not waste any time for revision. Okay, I believe that the practice paper for science, practice paper 1, is in the classroom. Okay, please distribute them. Alright, turn to section B of practice paper 1. We haven't gone through most of the questions. So let's look at question 29. Draw lines to match the following animals to the correct groups. Okay, this is very simple, so I'm going to go through it very quickly. Okay. Let me see. Should I use arrow? Maybe not. Okay, I'll just use a line. Okay, so I'll draw this to insect. Okay, that's very obvious. I'll draw this to bird. Okay, obvious as well. Okay, I draw this to mammal. Is this correct? No. Okay, I should draw this to fish. Okay, so please mark. Okay, 1 mark for each correct answer. Okay, let's move on. The diagram below shows a human digestive system. Okay, let's see if there is a highlighting function here. Let me see. Oh no, can't highlight. Why? Text selection, rectangular selection. Oh well. Okay, just highlight this human digestive system. Tick one box to show where the small intestine is. Highlight the word small intestine. Okay, so this would be the small intestine. Alright, this is the small intestine. What is this part here? This part would be the gullet. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I'll write here gullet. Okay, whatever is in red, okay, please copy it down. So this is your gullet. And this would be your stomach. And this would be your large intestine. I hope you remembered the function of each part in the digestive system. Alright? Okay, fill in the blank using the following helping words. Food from the gullet is passed on to the, highlight the word gullet. So what's after the gullet in the digestive system? Let's look. Okay, so this is your gullet. So what is this part here? You have already written down the word stomach, alright? Okay, stomach. Done? Okay, very good. I hope you have gotten all correct. First few questions, they are usually quite easy. Okay, choose the correct words from the box to answer the question below. And these are the stages of the life cycle of a plant. A, B, C. Okay, so what's the difference between B and C? Okay, the difference will be this part here. Okay, I'm going to circle it. Okay, please circle as well. Okay, identify this part of a plant. This is called the seed leaves. Seed leaves. Do you know what a seed leaf is for? A seed leaf actually provides food for the young plant before it grows its leaves to make its own food. So, seed leaves is usually present in a young plant because a young plant has not grown its leaves yet to make food. So it depends on the seed leaves for food. Alright, and you compare it to C. C is definitely not a young plant because, okay, let's circle it. You can see this part here. Oh, sorry. Okay, and these are called the fruits. Okay, when you see fruits, okay, what are inside the fruits? Seeds, right? So this means that at this stage the plant is able to reproduce. Okay, so they are able to reproduce, which means that it has to be an adult plant. So A would be the seed stage, C would be the adult plant. Okay, do you get this correct? Okay, very good. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, Sam places a magnet near a steel rod. The steel rod moves towards the magnet. Okay, highlight the word steel. What is steel? Steel is a magnetic material. Okay, give me a while, I'm trying to figure it out. Yes, I found it. Alright, so, oh no, found it, okay. So I'm going to move the text up. Okay, so please write down, steel is a magnetic material. Alright, so the steel rod moves towards the magnet. The magnet exerts a okay, there are a few answers that are acceptable. It exerts a pull, it exerts a force, it exerts a magnetic force, or I can say it exerts a pulling force. Okay, so any one of these answers. So in this case, the direction of the magnet of the steel rod towards the magnet is this arrow here. It's indicated by this arrow. Alright, so the steel rod moves towards the magnet. So the magnet is actually pulling the steel rod towards it. Alright, and pulling is actually a force. Okay, if you want to be specific, it is a magnetic force. Okay, choose the correct word from the box to answer the questions below. Sam's observation shows that steel is a what material? If it's able to be attracted by the magnet, it has to be a magnetic material. Okay. Okay, next. James stroked two similar steel rods A and B with the same magnet as shown in the figure below. Rod A is stroked 5 times and rod B is stroked 15 times. Okay, we learned from the last chapter on making magnets that there are two methods of making magnets, right? Okay, Okay, let me just adjust. Okay, the first way is through stroking, and stroking it's more of a permanent method. And the next method would be through electricity. And this is a temporary method. Now, what is the relationship between the number of strokes and how strong a magnet? Okay, let me rephrase this. What's the relationship between the number of strokes? Okay, sorry, Mrs Chua's English is not very good. Okay, so what is the relationship between the number of strokes? Okay, sorry again. Okay, what is the relationship between, let me write it down. Relationship between the number of strokes and the strength of your magnetized rod. Okay, finally. Okay, let me see if I can move this. Okay, can you just copy this down? Okay, what is the relationship between the number of strokes and the strength of your magnetized rod? Can you remember from your experiment that we did in the workbook? So the more strokes exerted on the magnetic material, the greater the magnetism of the let me just adjust this. Okay, the more strokes exerted on the magnetic material, the greater the magnetism of the magnetic material. Okay, so you are supposed to circle the correct answers below. Rod B attracted more nails than, or the same number of nails as, or less nails than rod A. So let's compare. Rod B has 15 strokes. Rod A has 5 strokes. And let's look at the relationship that we have established between the number of strokes and the magnetism of the magnetic material. So rod B would have greater magnetism than rod A. So when rod B has greater magnetism, it would be able to attract more nails than rod A. Alright, so answer would be more nails than. Alright. I'll give you 1 minute to copy down everything. Okay, the red writing and as well as the blue writing. Alright, let's move on. Okay, question 33. Debbie wanted to investigate the best temperature for green beans to germinate. She created 3 similar setups. She placed some green beans on a moist cotton wool as shown in the diagram below. Name a variable that Debbie must keep the same during the experiment. Okay, now, before you even start this, okay, what is the aim of this experiment? It is to find out the best temperature for green beans to germinate. So highlight the best temperature. So in this case, you have to place the green beans in different temperatures to see which temperature would be the best for them to germinate. So your changed variable would be the temperature. Okay? And the rest needs to remain the same. The rest needs to remain the same. Alright, so what needs to remain the same? I'll list down a few examples. Okay. The number of green beans. Okay. Amount of water used in the moist cotton wool. What else? The type, or you can say the size of the container used, as well as you can say we have to start the experiment at the same time. We do not use the same amount of cotton wool. Okay, because the number of cotton wool used does not affect the experiment at all. Okay, I can put in 100 ml of water in all 3 setups, and this will be the amount of water available to the plant, to the seed. Okay, it doesn't matter if I put in 1 piece of cotton wool or 5 pieces. Alright, the amount of water present in the container will still remain the same. So the number of cotton wool, okay, is not relevant in this question. Alright, let's move on. In which 2 setups will Debbie observe germination of green beans? Okay, in which 2 setups? Okay, what is needed in the germination of green beans? Can you remember? Wow. Wow. Remember what is wow? Okay, wow. Okay, let me change the font so it's easier for you to see. Okay, wow. W, A, W. W for water. A for air. The other W for warmth. Okay. So in this case, your change variable is your temperature, right? Let's look at the place and the temperature that they are being placed at. Okay, in a refrigerator. Okay, it has moisture, which means it has water in all setups. It definitely has air in a refrigerator, cupboard, and cupboard box. So in this case, water and air are present in all 3 setups. The only difference is the warmth, which means the temperature of each setup that affects the growth or germination of the green beans. So in a refrigerator, it is very cold. Okay, there is no warmth. Okay, if there is no warmth, the seed will not germinate. However, in B and C, there is warmth. Okay, it is like room temperature. Okay, green beans can germinate. So the answer will be B and C. Okay, explain your answer in B. I think I have answered, I think I've already answered the question. Okay, set up. B and C are kept in warm temperatures, or you can say warm locations. Okay, so this is your observation from the table. And this would be half a mark. The other half mark would be what seeds need for germination. Alright, you have to state the science concept here. Okay, the next part will be a science concept. Seeds need warmth to germinate. In this case, this will be another half a mark. Please take note. Some people will mention seeds need air, water and warmth to germinate. Okay, if the marker wants to be strict, that will be marked as wrong because you are not picking out the correct conditions, alright, to focus on for this question. So in this case, this question is asking about temperature. Okay, it's about temperature, which is related to warmth. Okay, you no need to mention about other conditions like your air and water. Okay, can you please copy this down? Okay, 10 more seconds. Okay, let's move on. Okay, before I move on, okay, let's see. Okay, this is the question on life cycle as well. Okay, life cycle of animals. So you are supposed to study the classification table and state the characteristics of animal Y. So animal Y, okay? So animal Y lays eggs in water and has a 4-stage life cycle. Take note, they use the plural form of characteristic. So you have to give more than one characteristic of animal Y. Okay, so Y has a 4-stage life cycle and it lays eggs in water. So it is a half mark for each characteristic. Next, state one difference between animal X and animal Z. Okay, let's start animal X and animal Z. Okay, you see that they both lay eggs on land. They both lay eggs on land. So that's not a difference, that's a similarity. So we move up and we can see that X has a 3-stage life cycle while Z has a 4-stage life cycle. Okay, X has a 3-stage life cycle, but Z has a 4-stage life cycle. You can also say animal X has 3 stages in its life cycle, but animal Z has 4 stages in its life cycle. Take note, it will be good for you to write down the word life cycle, okay, because we are talking about life cycle here. So this would be either 1 or 0 mark, okay, 1 mark or 0 mark. You have to compare and state the difference. Okay, let's move on. Ahmad was told to classify the following animals according to the characteristics in the classification table. Write the corresponding letter W, X, Y, or Z beside each animal in the table below. Now let's look at butterfly. We start from the top. Butterfly is an animal. Does butterfly have a 3-stage or 4-stage life cycle? Yes, a 4-stage life cycle, right? Egg, larva, pupa, adult, and back to egg again. And butterfly is an animal which lays eggs on a leaf, and this leaf will be present on land. So in this case, this would be Z. Right? Okay, what about mosquito? Okay, let's see. Mosquito, it has a 4-stage life cycle. Egg, larva, pupa, adult. Okay, and it lays eggs in water. Okay, that's why when you do your Mozzie wipeout, you know, when you want to kill the mosquitoes, okay, they usually tell you to not leave stagnant water around because mosquito breeds in water. Okay, so the egg, larva, and pupa stage will be in water. So once you pour away stagnant water, okay, you are basically removing 3 stages, alright, of this mosquito. Okay, so we want to prevent the growth from an egg to an adult because you know a female mosquito can spread harmful diseases like malaria, okay, dengue fever, okay, which can be quite deadly. Okay, now let's look at frog. Okay, frog, egg, tadpole, adult. Right, so it belongs to a 3-stage life cycle. It lays eggs in water. Okay, a frog lays eggs in water. So answer would be X. Alright, now let's look at chicken. Chicken, it will be egg young, which is a chick, egg young adult. So it will be a 3-stage life cycle, and it lays eggs on land. Sorry, this is W. And this will be X. Sorry, please make the changes. Frog is W. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Jessica pumped in the same amount of air into 3 balloons as shown below. What can she conclude about the property of air from the experiment? So what are the different properties of air that you can remember? You have to recall the properties of air. So first, okay, air has no definite shape. Okay. Next, air has no definite volume. Okay. And lastly, air can be compressed. Alright, so these 3 are the properties of air. So which one can we apply to this question? You can see that the same amount of air can be used to make different shapes, alright, different objects of different shapes. So in this case, the best answer would be air has no definite shape. It takes the shape of its container. Okay, I repeat, air has no definite shape. It takes the shape of its container. Air has no definite shape. Or you can say, air has no definite, air has no fixed shape. Alright? Or you can say air can be compressed. But in this case, the second answer will not be that accurate because they didn't tell you the capacity of the balloon. Okay, so we can't really see that air was being pushed in, and compressed. Okay, so the best answer would be air has no definite shape or no fixed shape. Alright? So for questions on matter, if they ask you specifically about the property of a certain state of matter, okay, you refer to just those properties. Okay, do not refer back to properties of matter like matter has mass, matter occupies space. All these are general properties of matter, but once they have specified a state of matter like air, you don't have to refer back to the general properties of matter. You just focus on the properties of air. Okay. Now, the next question. Jessica used the same balloons above and conducted another experiment as shown below. Using a pin, she pricked object C. Put a tick on the diagram that shows what she will observe. Okay, now, before I even tick, I want to identify the state of matter inside object C. So what is inside object C? What is inside object C? In object C, there is air, right? So when you prick object C, what will happen to the air? When you prick object C, what happened to the air? Air would escape. Okay, so when air would escape, the mass of object C would decrease, alright? So when the air escaped, B would now be heavier than C. Okay, so the balance will tilt towards object B. So answer will be the second diagram. Okay, can we move on? Okay, I will just stop at the last part of this question, question 35C. Okay, let's move on. Siti conducted the experiment shown below using a piece of plasticine and formed the entire piece into shape X and then into shape Y. Okay, she used one piece of plasticine, but she made two different shapes. She measured the mass of each shape every time she has formed it and drew the bar graph below. Complete the bar graph for the shapes X and Y. Now, if she used the same plasticine, alright, she did not remove any plasticine or put on any plasticine, okay? It's the same plasticine. Now, what is the state of matter of plasticine? Is it a solid, liquid, or is it a gas? We have learned this, alright? So it is a solid. So please write down the word solid. So what properties of solid? What properties of solid can you recall? Solid has a definite volume. Solid has a definite shape. Solid cannot be compressed. Now, when you say solid has a definite shape, okay, when I make this assumption that solid has a definite shape, means that I leave the solid there untouched and the shape will not change. But in this case is I apply a force. I apply a force on the plasticine. Alright, definitely the shape would change. So when we assume that solids have a definite shape, what we are actually saying is that if we leave the solid alone untouched, the shape will not change. Alright, so it is still a solid even though you see different shapes of a plasticine. So, will the mass change? No, the mass will not change. Alright, let me just... You see I have to improvise. Okay, copy, paste. Yes. And please shade, please shade. Let me see if I can shade it. Oh no, I don't think I can shade it. Alright, so please shade. So they should be of the same mass, 500 grams. Okay, please shade your diagram. Okay, why? Explain your answer. So always explain with science concept. Okay, some of you don't like to explain with science concept. Okay, then too bad, I can't give you marks. Okay, don't bother asking me for marks during exam. Okay, so plasticine, or you can say solid, has a definite volume, okay, or mass. Okay, so this would be your answer. Alright, solid has a definite volume or mass. Okay, now I realized that I also accept another answer. Another answer would be the same amount of plasticine was used for shape X and Y. Okay, so I either accept the first answer or the second answer. Alright, so please check if you have the second answer. If you have the second answer but I mark you wrong, please mark it as correct. Okay? I know the second answer doesn't have any science concept, but I guess it makes sense. Alright, so we decided to give the second answer as correct. Okay, but the best answer will be using science concept to explain your observation. Okay, solid has a definite mass. Solid has a definite volume. Okay, that would be the ideal answer. Okay, are y'all done copying? Okay, very good. Okay, how many questions am I left with? Okay, we haven't gone through question 36, 37, 38, 39. Okay, I went through question 40. So question until question 39. So we still have about 4 questions. Okay, so I'll continue next lesson. Okay, please remember to do your corrections. If I did not go through if I was too fast for you, please copy from your friend. Okay, see you. Bye bye.